Hey guys, today I want to show you the series that I finished this year and also the series that I DNF'd. I keep track of all of my series in my reading journal, and I am going to do a video on series that I need to catch up on. Let's first talk about the DNFs. The first series that I DNF'd was actually a duology. I read The Wrath and the Dawn, I think in 2018. It was one of the first books I read when I got introduced to BookTube, and the sequel has been on my shelves ever since, but I really didn't like The Wrath and the Dawn. I gave it 2 out of 5 stars because it was super, first of all, morally questionable, and it was super boring, so I have no interest in reading this book. I then DNF'd The Daughter of Smoke and Bone trilogy. I have read the first one and I actually really liked it. I gave it 3.75 stars, I think. And I actually listened to the second one on audio. I listened to about 3/4, and I didn't really pay attention to the audiobook, and I don't feel like rereading the series. However, I actually today ordered the Illumicrate special editions because I want to give the series a chance, and also because there are some cool items, also Strange the Dreamer inspired, so yeah. But I don't have my original copies anymore. The German editions as well as the English editions are super ugly, so I'm really looking forward to the Illumicrate editions. I then DNF'd the Sherlock Holmes series, the first book being A Study in Charlotte, and this is a spin on Sherlock Holmes set in modern times, and I wasn't really a fan of the first one, and I'm not interested in continuing the series just because I wasn't really interested in the plot, I guess. I didn't care, so yeah, they had to go. I then DNF'd the Creekwood duology, I guess. I have read Simon versus the Homo Sapiens Agenda, really loved it, but I have no interest in reading Leah on the Offbeat, so it is technically a DNF. I then DNF'd the series for the Kiss of Deception series. I don't know what it's called. The first one was just super boring. The only thing that was interesting was that we didn't know who was the prince and who was the assassin or something like that. But other than that, I didn't care for the story. I have no interest in reading the other books, so I'm also not going to continue reading the Marcus Goldman series. I'm not sure what the English title for that book is, but I'm going to put it on the screen. So many people raved about the first book, but I don't know. It was just okay for me. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars, not terrible, but I have no interest in reading the other book. So quite a lot of DNFs, but now let's get to the series that I managed to finish this year. I finished the Hunger Games trilogy by Suzanne Collins in preparation for the new book that I also read. Didn't like it, but I really enjoyed reading these. The Hunger Games was a reread for me. We actually read that in school. I have never read the last 2 books. I've only watched the movies and I didn't really remember too much. But yeah, I enjoyed this experience, and yeah. I then finished this series. This is a German series called The Grimm Chroniken. Die Grimm Chroniken. This is the first book, Die Apfelprinzessin, and this is, as the name says, a spin on the Grimm fairy tales. So it has a bunch of different elements from different fairy tales, and I love reading about fairy tales somehow. These are super short, but there are 13 of them, so it did take me quite a while to finish these. I started this one in November of 2018, I believe, but yeah, there is another season to this series, but I still counted it as a series I finished. I then finished another German series called Sturmtochter. It's a trilogy as well and features elemental magic, and it's set in Scotland. And it sounds really interesting, but I didn't really love it. Yeah, I don't want to talk about it. It was just an alright series that I enjoyed listening to, but that's about it. Wow, another German series called Clans of London, and this features clans of witches and a prophecy, really typical YA. It was really enjoyable, but yeah, not something special. And then just this morning I finished the Orange manga series. This was the first manga I ever read and I really enjoyed it. And at the time I thought it was going to be like an all-time favorite, best book of the year because I read it at a perfect time in my life. However, there are some problems with it, especially in the conclusion. Spoilers obviously, but it definitely still has a really special place in my heart. This follows a group of friends and there is a new boy in school, and on that day the protagonist Nahu receives a letter from her future self telling her that this boy is going to kill himself in the future and basically gives her instructions on what to do to keep him from committing suicide. It is super wholesome and heartwarming, and I love the friend group in this, but I just couldn't give the last or the second volume 5 stars because it was handled so, yeah, not in the best way. And then Orange Future is kind of a spin-off set in the future from where the letters are sent. Didn't really love it. I give it 3 out of 5 stars, but I still really recommend this manga series. I then finished the Tea Dragon Society graphic novels, the Tea Dragon Society, the Tea Dragon Festival, and I read the Tea Dragon Tapestry as an arc on NetGalley. These are just super beautiful. The story is not even that important. It is really cute, but the art style is what really tops it. Just look at this. So stunning. And also I think the Tea Dragon Tapestry is my favorite so far in terms of art style, but also in terms of story. It definitely dealt with kind of darker themes, I want to say. Maybe even depression, but I'm not too sure about that. But it was super amazing to read about. But this series in general is super inclusive. It has people from all the kinds of ethnicities, genders, disabled persons, so it's super amazing to read about. So I'm really happy that I got to read the 3rd graphic novel before it came out. But yeah, these are all of the series that I finished this year. Not that many, to be honest, but I have so many finales like coming up. I'm super close to finishing the series and I am going to do a vlog on that. I already started it and I'm super excited about that. But yeah, that's it for now. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please subscribe and give this video a thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye, guys.